Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel and July 18th's daily 10 centuries. Let's get into this thing. So we've got our 10 free coins, of course, so we can keep our thing going here without having to use up a bunch of them. Let's get into today's, what's this one doing today? We don't do this very often. Let's do these guys. They're the quick, easy little guys. We'll get into those, so. Get all that stuff out of the way, and you too. And then after this one, we'll go back. We'll look at the larger ones, the ones that are supposedly more difficult, etc. But these are always kind of fun to jump into every now and again. So let's see what else we can do. This is out. We know one of you two are in, so you guys are out and you're in. Good. Now that forces this one in and this one. One of those two, this one, and this one. Good. Get rid of all of these. The threes are pretty much all set here. That one's out, so this one has to be in. Now those are all out, so you. The thing about these small packs, they're intended to be fairly easy and quick to get through, but they're also still pretty fun to just kind of blow through them, see how quickly you can get through them all. But this one's out, so this and this have to be in. These are all out, you have to be in. All that stuff's out, you and you. Now we can get rid of all these. This one is out, this one there, these here, and then here. Cool. And then we also get more coins for doing a bunch of these guys instead of the bigger ones where they give the same amount of coins, but it takes obviously longer to do them. Now only two of these can possibly be in, so this one has to finalize. That's a corner, that's a corner. These are all just out. So let's get rid of those and see what we can find here. This one is out because it would remove too many options. You got to figure one of these twos here. This one here says that's out. One of these two is in. It can't be more than one, so this one's in. That's going to set off a little chain reaction here. Actually, I can't put that one necessarily in just yet. The corner is out, though. This guy here, one of those two must be in, so that's out. Let's see if we can find another one of those to work with. One of these two in. Oh, this one right here is in. It still doesn't change the fact that one of these is in. One of these three has to be in, so that's out. Oop, didn't mean to hit you, but I did mean to hit you. This guy here, actually it is out because it'll remove both of those options, so we can get rid of that one. And now this two is good to go, so we can get rid of all of these. And this two is done. These two have to be finished. Do we have anything else that's just sitting here staring at us? Not necessarily. So one of these two, one of those two, one of those two, one of those two, one of those two. Lots of those types of situations occurring. Oh, this one right here. There we go. Just didn't see that one. That has to pop in, so it's going to get rid of a few options now. So this goes here and here. That's going to put you in, and then you. While that was going on, I just spilled coffee all over my face. Luckily, that is not going to be part of the video. Let's move on to this one. Let's get into these guys. Goodness gracious, it's a morning. These four all have to be in, which is going to create this guy happening. So therefore, these are all going to be done. We can get rid of a bunch of stuff there. And even more, that's just givens. One of those two will be in. This one obviously can't be in. One of those two will be, okay, this guy here says you are out. We know one of you two is, this one here has to be in, so that's going to push you, then you and you. Then this guy here is going to be the final. Cool. Achievement unlocked for something there. Completed 29 by 9s. Okay, cool. All right, now that we've got those guys taken care of, let's go into some of the difficult ones. Let's do this 8 by 8 and 11 by 11. Get rid of all this stuff and then see what pops up here. Oop, not you. I gotta get better with my clicking game here. You can't be in. You are, and you guys aren't. Corner, corner. This one is done, so you're out. What else? One of these two now. So this and this, that's a corner piece. These two are left in. This one now has to be in. The 2 is done. This guy here has to be in. That 2 is done. Now these 2 have to be done, and this is out. What else do we have? This one here, this one, this one, this one, and one of these is going to be in. Which one is it? That's that, that's that. Actually, both of them look like they're in. There we go. Alrighty, let's go to the 11 by 11. Let's start looking at these 3s here. See if we can find something quick and easy to get into. That's out. Something that gets the ball rolling where we're not having to click necessarily on every single one that's just an obvious out, but I don't see anything quite there. Well, these 2 are out. Anything else like that? These 2, this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4's not really. What else we got here? This one, the 3 going up and down here. Didn't see that until now, so all of these are out. Good. This one then has to be in, which means this has to be in. Now this 3, we can say this one is definitely in. These guys are out. You have to be in. You have to be in. It's going to say one of these 2 is left over. Probably this, one of these other guys, yeah, this 2 here says both of these are out, which is going to put some things in. What else? This guy here must be in for the 3. That guy is out, so this is getting pushed up, so is this. That airplane in the background is certainly loud. Let's get these 2 guys in. If you can hear that or not, I don't quite know, but I never really know what can be heard on this mic at the moment because I had to remove my filters on it because it was causing such problems with audios. So I'd rather just have a little bit of background noise than having a bad audio capture. So let's get these guys in. This corner means you're out. You and you both have to be in, so you are in. That's going to finish off all this. There we go. Cool. Oh, we're doing pretty good time, so we can keep going. Let's get into this 15 by 15 and 17 by 17. Let's start at the 5, because I'm sure there's going to be something here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can get rid of anything that sees multiple options, at least for that. Oop, not you. Yet again. Let's start peeling away at this guy here for a second and see what else comes out. I don't necessarily see anything. Do we have... Oh, there's 0 down here. Didn't even see that. Let's look down on... Yeah, here we go. This guy here must go. You here have to be in, which means you have to be in, which means you have to be, which is then going to set these guys up. Now, I think we said, yeah, this guy now has to be here, and you have to be here to all these. This guy now is left over, which means you, and you all have to be in. No. Which gets rid of all of this stuff, which we can probably start to use this here. Yep, these guys all have to be out because they would remove too many options. This 5 is saying there's 2 here. Only one of these 2 can be in, so both of these have to be in. That's good. This 1 is done. Actually, all of these are done. Good thing I looked up. That'll get rid of a bunch of options there and hopefully open up some spots where we can just start plugging things in. Let's go ahead and take care of these guys. And then maybe look back at some of these. Yeah, this 2 here. This is now done, which is going to set off a couple of things here, hopefully. This 5 now just has to be finalized. And okay, so we're going to have this guy here goes here, you here, so, and then you here, so these 2 have to be in to finalize these guys. It's now going to leave you open, and you and you. This 3 now can be finished here. These are all now out. This 4 has to be finished. So let's get rid of all those. The 2 has to be finished, and then this will finish. That will be out. Now this, and this all are in. Good. Now, what else? We have a 2 here. Just got to get rid of you. This guy was never in. You guys are never in. So one of these 2 has to be in, so this guy isn't, which means these 2 are, which then sets off a chain reaction up here. And then I'll tell us which one of those is in. 4 is out. This is the last 3, which is going to tell us that these 2 are in. Good. Sweet. We can keep going. We're only at 10 minutes here. So we've got another one of in this pack, but we might be able to get into a no-mo situation. Not that one just yet. Let's look at this 7 going this way. Okay, we do have something down here because if we think about these guys, only one of these can be in. So that's 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can put all these guys in and then get rid of a bunch of these options and see what that does for us, along with these other ones that are obviously not in. See if those work together. So down here, we're going to know one of these 2 is in, but because one of those 2 has to be in, one of these 2 also has to be in to have these guys work. It's kind of like an X-Wing, so therefore these 2 are out because they would remove both of those options. This guy here, so that's out. What else we got? I'll pick away at these while I'm also thinking. We haven't removed anything from that 7 yet. Is this 6 going to do anything for us? Nope. What about some of these 5s? Let's get rid of options on these guys in here and then take a look and see what's going on. Not you. This one. So these, we do have 5 options, so we have to put those in and remove anything that takes out any of the given options. So that's all of this. This guy now has to be in, so do you, and you, and you. So we can get rid of all of this. Good. Again, these are all just out anyway, so let's get those done while we're in the vicinity. Where else do we have? There's still plenty more of these guys that I can just pop off, but trying to find something that would just give us a nice little bit of info. What about these, going back to these 5s now? We said those are done. What about this 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, still not quite there. Anything across this way? Not necessarily. What else do we have? This 3, here we go. This guy has to be in, which means all of these are out. Just going to create a little bit of a workshop here, if you will. Okay. Oh, this 1 is done now. Good. That's going to get us into this section. All of these have to be in. Is this 6, 3, 4, 5, 6? Nope. Oh, wait, this guy here has to be in. There we go. It's going to get all of those taken care of for the moment. Now, did that give us any reductions on any of these guys going across here? Oh, this one here actually is in. Oh, this 5 we had already said, but now we've removed options, so we can get those down to their base pairs. Good. So that 5 is done. This 3 has to be done to finish that guy off. What about in here? This guy still isn't quite ready to pop. Do we have any? Oh, here, this guy is just sitting alone. So we can put him in and get rid of all this other stuff. Now it's going to set this all off. Good. This guy was never in anyway. The 6 is done. That's good, because that's going to tell us these guys are all in. Perfect. Keeping an eye on the horizontals here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have only 1 left of all these is going to be in. What else? Not you yet. This 5, at least we can... Okay, that's going to be helpful. Because we could remove those, because we can't take out both those options. That's going to then free this guy up to do this. That's a corner piece. The 4 isn't quite there. We know one of these is in. This 3 now, though, has been reduced, so this is in. So that guy goes there, that guy goes there, so this guy has to be here. That's going to then set up a little bit of work over this way. This is a corner. Now is this 5 finally working? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, thank you. Took a while, but we got to it. Just had to have enough of it reduced, and it's going to set off these guys. That's a corner, so that's in. And that's in. The 2 is not quite there yet, because we still have a couple of options. The 5, we know it's one of those 2. We know one of these two is in as well. Now, we can actually probably use that, can't we? Because if we know one of these, this guy's out, so one of these two is going to go to one of these two. One of these two is going to go to the other one. Therefore, these guys have to be in like this. And that's going to now tell us which one is which. Good. This is a corner, so that puts you in. 5s and 3s are done. The 4 is good. We can put those in. That'll force you and you. Now one of these two will be left over. Crossing over anything good we can work with. This 3 here says you're out, so that's going to get that going and finish the 7 finally. That's going to now tell us the 2, and that's going to set this off. Perfect. Cool. So we should be able to do, maybe we can do a no-mo, because we're done with this pack, and we still got a little bit of time. And these are 6x6 and 7. We might have a chance to do these without too much trouble. Let's see if we can figure them out. Okay, so this 2, one of these two has to be in, so one of these two has to be in. Which means that this one can't be, so one of these two is in for this 2, and then this one is in. So that's connected there. Now we know one of those is in, of course. We know one of these two has to be in for this 1. Well, we know one of these two, sorry, is in for this 1. We don't know which one it is yet, because these are out. One of those is in, one of those is in. The 2, oh, there's only 2 places that right off the bat we could have gotten this 2, because there's only 2 spots that this could go. So that goes to there, that goes to there. Now this 1 is done. We said we can't have these 2, and now we can't have either of these, so this is in. That's going to force that to be in. Now we have to finalize these guys, which means you and you. There we go. Good. It's always a pleasure when those things work out fairly quickly. This 4 is a godsend here. That's going to tell us these are connected, these and these. Now, this 1 is completely done, so none of these can be in. Can we use that to our advantage? We also know that none of these can ever be in. So, okay, that's perfect. So these 2 can't be in, which means this guy just has to go here. Wait, no. Oh, sorry, one of these 2 is in. That doesn't help us as much as I thought it was going to. Oh, well. What else can we say? That's all out. One of these 2 is in. One of these 2 is in. This one's out, so one of these 2 is in. It's not doing a ton. What about this 1? You or you? No, that's not quite there either, is it? Well, actually, you can't be in, because we said one of these 2 had to be. So that's out, that's out, that's out. This and this are out. This one is in. There we go. Good. So that's now taken care of. We said one of these 2 had to be in. Now this one's removed, so this is in. One of these 2 has to be in. And this, well, no, that's not also that great, is it? This one we know can't be in, because we know one of these 2 has to be in, because this guy here says none of these are. But if we were to put one here, we'd be taking up everything for both of these. So that's why one of these 2 is in and one of these 2 is in. Now that also means that for this, we need one more in the 2 spot, right? Or could we put both here? Let's not make that mistake. Let's see if that's accurate. One of these is definitely in. One of these is definitely in. Could they share that spot? Yeah, this could be a spot because it could be both of these. Okay. Can't quite do that then. Okay, what else do we have then? You are out. Okay, we can just look at this 2 in a different way. Because this is out, one of these 2 is in and one of these 2 is. That one is in. Now, that still doesn't tell us necessarily... Well, I guess it does, because we can't put anything here because the 2 is done. We can't put something here because this tent. So therefore, this guy has to be connected here, and then you have to be connected here. Now, that 1 finishes all of these, so this guy has to be in to connect here. We we know now this guy here can't be in, so one of these two has to be in for this guy, but it can't be this one, so it's you. That finishes you, and then the 2 and the 1 are going to come together to finish. There we go. We got there. Cool. We did a pretty good job of those no-mows. Usually those ones going to be pretty tricky, but I guess because they were the 6 and 7 size, they weren't too bad. I'm not going to go into an 11 by 11. That would probably kick my butt. So we're also at the 20-minute mark, so I think we're good to go. Cool. That was a really good tents and trees today. I really did enjoy all of the combinations of them. I'm glad we went into this one, because usually we don't, but they're kind of fun to just go in and have a little bit of a quick shot at them. So anyway, that was July 18th, tents and trees. Hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.